These are the comments that I get on my videos. This dude is ugly. You look sloppy and always in the same outfit, the same. If you want to get more jobs, you should look into it because company want their product to be more convincing as making ends meet. You are totally unprofessional. Don't even groom himself. Sloppy outfit on the front line, also known as presentation. Anyway, having people attack my views on the cars that I feature on my car channel is one thing, but then there are these people who are more interested in commenting about my face, my age, my dressing, my hairstyle, the way I talk, the way I stand, even the way I smile. Yeah, so once in a while, right, I get image consultants like those whom I don't think are interested in the cars at all, but instead they are just like to criticize with personal comments like those. And if I'm being honest, right, Facebook is probably the more brutal place for this. YouTube comments can already be quite direct sometimes, but Facebook is at another level altogether because the audience demographics is very different there. The culture there is more impulsive, more reactionary, more emotionally driven. People scroll very quickly, judge very quickly, type very quickly, and sometimes, right, I feel like people see one screenshot of my face and immediately decide whether they like me or not before even hearing what I'm saying. And to be fair, right, I don't even think that this is unique to me. I think this is just how the internet works works now. And at the moment you appear publicly online, right, your appearance automatically becomes public property for discussion. So in this video, right, I like to talk about this and how this is not only affecting me, but the dozens of friends I know who don't dare to do videos, not even dare to put up a photo of themselves without it being heavily meiyan. And I believe there are countless people more, perhaps even you included, who refrain from doing videos or even putting up a post because of these trigger happy trolls who feels a societal behavior on social media that's based on a superficial 3-second judgment rule. And really, because the more we think about it, the more you and I will realize that this actually says something very interesting about human nature. Because whether we admit it or not, people judge visuals first. Always, because before they process your ideas, your personality, your experience, or your intentions, right, they process how you look. And in the automotive space where I'm in, right, probably this becomes even stronger because cars are tied very heavily to image, to status, to lifestyle, right? So subconsciously, I think some viewers expect a car reviewer to look a certain way. Maybe sharper, more polished, more luxury looking, more atas, someone who is wearing a suit maybe. So when they see me appearing in a t-shirt or just like this hoodie, talking in a more grounded tone, hair that's not set with tons of hairspray, and having zero makeup on, well, there's a mismatch in expectation for them. And I'm a guy and I'm 50 already, so I am not getting it that bad. But for the ladies and the girls, right, I understand they will be much more affected. For instance, right, my wife, who does her real estate videos on her own channel, right, now I tell you, why don't you pay her a visit when you can, right, to support her, okay? Her channel is called Jessica Look. Anyway, when we are shooting her videos, right, she puts in the effort to do her makeup and her hair, and she wears the dresses that she seldom puts on. Still, people comment on her gestures, her makeup, the way she talks, even her age. They say things like, "Auntie, so old already, don't need to do video already lah. Who will watch your videos?" And honestly, right, while I don't understand why people are so malicious to attack others just like that, right, I can say I get it, and I really do get it. I think it's because the internet today is extremely visual, like I said. Platforms, they reward aesthetics. Social media rewards appearances. And the more polished, the more trendy and premium, if those aren't possible, right, then the younger and prettier you look, the easier it is to immediately capture attention. That's just reality. The prettier faces usually fare better for the views. But at the same time, right, I also think there's a downside to this because people start equating appearance with credibility. So if someone looks stylish, people automatically assume that they are more successful, more knowledgeable, or more trustworthy. And a prettier lady who bothers to dress up or dress down, depending on what type of content you watch, right? Viewers associate her as more influential. So conversely, right, if someone looks too ordinary, suddenly people think maybe this person isn't qualified enough. Now, what's even more interesting is that appearance-based attacks are usually the easiest type of attacks people can make online because they require almost zero thinking. So if someone disagrees with your opinion about a car, right, they need to explain why. They need to argue with facts, logics, or even experience. But if someone wants to insult your experience, your appearance, right, it's instant. Like ugly, old, sloppy, looks poor. So I think a lot of online culture today operates this way because emotionally driven reactions always spread faster than thoughtful discussions. It's much easier to mock someone's face than to properly debate their arguments. So at first, right, I was quite self-conscious about it because if you know me, right, this YouTube thing is rather new to me. So I'll be lying if I said that the comments never affected me at all initially. Now, of course, they did. Actually, there were moments where I started questioning myself also. Should I change my entire wardrobe and dress differently? Should I style myself differently? Should I use more filters on my face to look younger and more flawless? But after thinking about it, right, I realized that the viewers who stay true and support my content usually don't stay to watch because of how I look. They stay because they connect with me. They trust my perspective and my authenticity. And honestly, right, when I look at the people who regularly watch Learns, comment positively, message me, discuss EV ownership experience with me, many of them don't actually care if they're watching a YouTuber who has some hyper-polished influencer personality or not. They actually appreciate that I sound more controversial, more grounded, and more relatable. So over time, right, I stopped seeing my imperfections as bad things. Maybe they are part and parcel of what makes my channel feel human. And you know what? After I stopped getting bothered by these comments, I try to look at why these people behave like that. And I choose to believe that most of these people are probably not actually evil people. I suppose they had a bad day or a bad month or a bad year. Or maybe they had a friend who commented the same on them, or their business isn't doing well, or that image consultant haven't gotten himself a gig for weeks already. So they just, or maybe, they've just been let go also. And so, right, when they are down, I think, the internet simply creates an environment where they vent and say things they would never say face to face. Because I think there's distance, anonymity and no real social consequences. So people become more extreme online. They probably can't or don't dare to scold the person who caused them that situation. So they become that someone who casually types, you look sloppy or you're too old online. And in the real life, right, they probably will never walk up to me and say it directly. honestly, like, you don't know how many times I've seen people at the mall or at the hawker center who clearly saw me, and they gave me that, that, oh, is it that YouTuber look? But they don't dare to come say hi or come scold me right in my face. So I choose to believe that some of these people who comment harshly online, right, might actually be perfectly decent people offline, and the internet just amplifies their bad behavior on a darker period for them. And honestly, right, I think this entire experience also taught me something broader, about society today. I think we are becoming very appearance driven in a way we consume content, in a way we judge credibility and evaluate people. Everything is becoming faster, more visual, and more surface level. People form impressions within seconds now, and I'm not even talking about the number of subscribers and viewerships yet. Perhaps, maybe this is another topic for another time. So for me, right, without the looks of someone in their 20s or 30s anymore, right, without the budget to buy beautiful shirts and suits, without the training that a polished presenter gets, I still believe that substance matters in the long run. Because I believe while appearance may capture attention temporarily, but authenticity is usually what keeps people around over time. Because at the end of the day, right, I would rather people remember me for the controversies and the conversations that I started, the perspective that I shared, and the authenticity that I brought, rather than why do I keep wearing this white hoodie here. So one more thing, to those of you who have been supportive, encouraging, and kind throughout this period, right, I genuinely want to thank you. Because while negative comments are loud sometimes, right, the supportive viewers are actually the reason I, and along with thousands of other creators, continue going. And every thoughtful comment, every meaningful discussion, every person who says that they enjoyed the content or learned something from it, well, I think all these matter a lot more than people realize. So if you've ever been judged unfairly before based on appearances, age, dressing, or superficial first impressions, right, honestly, you're not alone. Anyway, if you enjoy this type of honest behind the scenes conversations, right, do like this video and subscribe to this channel, because I'll continue to share more of these reflections moving forward. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.